Jaguars up. This is Left Side of the Brain. How's everybody doing? It's been a minute since I uploaded a video. Well, not too long, but it's been kind of a minute or so because I've been taking care of some personal things in my life, and I am working on the channel, books, shirts. I got logo designs and things that I'm working on. So just know, like, when you don't see me for a few days, I'm working on other things. I can't be uploading videos all the time because I need time to do other things. But in the meantime, go ahead and hit the likes button, hit the subscribe button. If you are a Jaguar, or if this is your first time ever seeing a Left Side of the Brain video, go ahead and add us on Instagram. Tell a friend and tell a friend to tell a friend. This is Jaguar Nation. This is Minister Left Side of the Brain. Jaguars up. It's a few things I wanted to talk about today. And one of those things, I wanted to talk about the nature of truth. That's right. On this channel, we say that truth means the right understanding to heaven. But also, the nature of truth is freedom. That's right, freedom. It says in John 8:32, then you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. That's right. Anything that's not allowing you to be free, it is not the truth. I don't care what it is. Because ultimately, the nature of truth is to lead you to freedom. Anything other than that is not truth. That's the number one aspect of truth. It leads you to freedom. Another aspect to the truth. Truth will never, I mean never, contradict itself. That's right. The ultimate truth of everything, it will never contradict itself. So you can be in a discussion with somebody, the truth will never contradict itself. That's right. Meaning it has no dead end. The truth doesn't come to a dead end. Now, you've heard people say things like, well, that's your truth and this is my truth. That's foolishness. So another aspect of truth is truth. There is only one truth. Truth is unique. The uniqueness of truth. And thank you, Spirit, because the Spirit showed me in nature itself, you see the uniqueness of creation. One of the uniqueness of creation is the very word I'm using, unique. Everything in nature is unique. There is not two people who share the same handprint. There is not two people on this earth who share the same hair texture. You know what else? It's not even two blades of grass that is similar on this planet. Another thing, every blade of grass, you may look into a field of grass. You might look at a field of grass and think that every blade of grass is the same color. But do you know that every single blade of grass has a different color? It's all within the green family, but every blade of grass has its unique shade of green. Everything on this planet is unique. Meaning it only comes in one. Everything passes on this planet one time. So there's not multiple truths. There's only one truth. It's only one way out, and that's the truth route. There's no other way other than the truth. Another thing about the nature of truth. Truth comes with metaphors. For everything I say, I always back it up with a metaphor. Because everything in nature backs up the nature of the creation or the creator. It's seen in nature itself. So for every metaphysical topic I discuss, you can back it up with a metaphor. This is how you can judge whether or not somebody is telling you the truth or not. Because all truth is backed up with a metaphor in nature. You can look out into nature like I did like I show and prove with a metaphor in nature. Even in this video, when I just said that truth is unique, just like the nature itself, because there's only one of everything. That was me explaining truth with a metaphor. All truth comes with a metaphor. So when you see these charlatans out here and they speaking things, but they don't have a metaphor to back it up, it's not the truth. Because the spiritual world reveals itself through the physical world. And I'm going to give you a metaphor. Thank you, Spirit. When you are unhealthy, you can tell you're unhealthy. The doctor, he can look at your eyes. Because whatever is taking place in the unseen, it will manifest itself physically. Because the nature of everything is truth. You can tell me that you are not cold, but your physical nature will tell on itself. Because I can look at you shivering and shaking. I can look at the goosebumps forming on your skin. So you can't tell me you're not cold, because I can touch you and feel that you are cold. You see, that's another aspect to this truth. It's always backed up with a metaphor. You can't lie. You can't lie to me. You can't lie to yourself. And you most certainly can't beat the truth. And you can't beat the spirit. Because the spirit ultimately is behind the truth in everything that we do. Everything that we do is going to come back to us. That's just the nature of truth. Because we can't outsmart the truth. We can't manipulate the truth. Now, you can manipulate someone else. You can try to deceive and lie to someone else. But ultimately, you know that you're being deceitful. You know that you're manipulating someone else. But even still, somebody with the truth will be able to point out the manipulation. So however you look at it, however you try to dance around it, there will always be a left side of the brain to call that person out. Just like when I called out Nature Boy. That's the spirit of truth in me calling out a charlatan. Because you can never evade or escape the truth. It's always going to highlight what's not true. Because truth and lies, it can't share the same space. One must dominate over the other. And ultimately, the darkness will prevail. We also say the nature of truth is darkness, right? That is also the nature of truth. So I'm just laying this down, giving you a groundwork so you will understand what the truth is on this channel and how we manifest the truth and how we back it up. And that's why to date, if you've been following the videos of Left Side of the Brain, to date, you have not seen anybody come with something that can debunk anything that I have said on this channel. You know why? Because I don't speak hypothesis. I don't come from the negative. What I mean by that is, arguing from the negative mean you are arguing a point or a standpoint or a position from nothing. Like if I say, for example, if I say Like, the world is, every 10 years, the world is getting worse. It is. Every 10 years, people are becoming more and more brainwashed, more and more dead. The world is becoming more and more zombie land every day. It's true. It's a fact. Then someone will come along and they'll be talking about astrology, right? Which is bullshit, right? And they will come along with some type of save the world, wishful thinking, which is bullshit because they can't show you how the algorithm of the world, they can't show you the data, they can't show you the statistics to back up the wishful thinking that they're coming with. So they can only argue from the negative, meaning they are arguing from a standpoint of emotions. Like when I say having kids is demonic, nobody can debunk that because the nature of this world is a prison world. Anything that places limitations on you is a prison. That's the definition of a prison. Limitations. You limited in what you can do. Somebody telling you what to do. That's a limitation. So nobody can debunk that because I'm not arguing or making my point from the negative. I'm making my point from the positive. Positive mean that your truth is substantiated in facts. Arguing from the negative mean what you are saying is not substantiated by anything. It's just your emotions involved in what you're saying. But what you're saying, it has no relevance to the current situation. Like when I say astrology is bullshit. Because, for instance, I'm a prime example. Astrology is bullshit because people who teach astrology, they are phony con artists. It's just a bunch of emotional gibberish that makes no sense. And anything that you can live without, you can do without. You can live without knowing an astrology table. Therefore, you can do without it because it's not necessary for life. I have never did an astrology reading in my entire life. I've never did a natal chart reading in my entire life because it is unnecessary for me to breathe. It's unnecessary for me to drink water. It's not necessary. It's not necessary for me to know an astrology chart in order for me to breathe. It's not necessary for me to know an astrology chart in order for me to drink water or to pay my bills or any of the things that requires effort in order to survive. It has nothing to do with no astrology. So that's another way that you can tell a charlatan from a real person like a left side of the brain. Because a charlatan, they will come at you with a lot of unnecessary information that has nothing to do with your spiritual survival or your physical survival, which is predicated. Your physical survival is predicated upon food, water, clothing, and shelter. They're not telling you anything that has anything to do with survival, and they coming at you with stuff that they cannot substantiate or quantify. So it's bullshit. The things that left side of the brain say is the truth, the right understanding to heaven. That's why I'm not about manipulating people. I don't start no cult like Nature Boy. You see? Because I'm not about that. This is about us versus them. The secret wars, like it's always been since day one, since I started this channel. And that's why I say that this is the best channel on YouTube. because you have to stick with your foundation. That's why I'm doing this video right now, because a lot of stuff out here in the world, and I just want people to stay focused on what our goal is. Like I said, it's only two things that can happen to you in this world. You can either be sucked in, manipulated, pulled under, or you will escape and be free. That's the only two things you can do in this life. You can be free, or you can be a slave to them. That's it. There's no in between. That's the basic message on this channel since I've started this channel. It's real simple. And I just like to leave you all with that, because my spirit led me to do this, because it's a lot of clutter out there that makes no sense. And I see a lot of people be asking me questions about foolishness, asking me questions about dinosaurs. None of that stuff don't got nothing to do what we are about. Dinosaurs, how many years ago did they live? What does that have to do about seeing through the tricks of these human prison bars? That's what everything is about. Human prison bars. Us versus them. It hasn't changed. The secret wars. That's why I'm the one that's talking about it. You don't hear people talking about the secret wars. They talking about astrology. Garbage. And if you got a problem with it, anybody who tell them to call in to the show. If they got a problem with it, tell them to call in to the show, the next live stream. But that's what we're dealing with on this channel. We're dealing with truth. I think I'm gonna do 2 videos today. But yeah, I just wanted to give this message, because I know somebody need to hear it. This is Left Side of the Brain. This is the beginning of spring semester. So we got a lot of things coming down the tubes. I'm going to introduce one of those things today in conjunction with everything else that we've been speaking about. So just stay tuned. This is Left Side of the Brain signing out. The truth, the right understanding to heaven.